They texted me at 4:17 p.m. on the day I walked across the stage for my master's degree. Sweetie, we're not going to make it. Your brother got Super Bowl tickets last minute and it's once in a lifetime. So proud of you though. I was already in the cap and gown, holding the little cardboard sign with my row and seat number, staring at the 3 empty seats I'd reserved for them right up front. The ceremony started in 13 minutes. I turned the phone face down, walked, smiled for the camera when they called my name, and didn't cry until I was alone in the parking garage. 2 days later Mom called. Honey, the hot water heater burst and the repair is $12,000. Your dad and I are a little short this month. Could you Venmo us 10? We'll pay you back, promise. That was the moment the thread snapped. I'm 31 now, but I need you to understand how long that thread was. I was the quiet one, the one who never needed anything, straight A's since kindergarten, perfect attendance, scholarships, dean's list every semester. My brother Jordan, he was the loud one, the charming one, the one who got suspended for selling weed behind the bleachers and still got a new truck for his 16th birthday because he needed reliable transportation. When I was 9, I won the county spelling bee. They forgot to come. Dad said the boat wouldn't start and by the time they fixed it the awards were over. Jordan had a travel baseball tournament the same weekend. They never missed one of his games. Ever. At 12, I made all-state orchestra, first chair violin. They promised they'd be there. I waited on the stage after my solo, scanning the auditorium. Empty seats again. Mom texted later that Jordan had food poisoning from cookout wings and they had to take him to urgent care. I found out years later he was actually grounded for sneaking out and they didn't want to leave him home alone. High school graduation. They showed up 45 minutes late because Jordan decided that was the perfect time to total his first truck doing donuts in an abandoned lot. Dad spent the whole ceremony on the phone with the insurance company while Mom kept patting Jordan's knee and whispering, "It's okay, baby. Accidents happen." I paid for college myself. Waitress doubles, lived on ramen and Spite. Every holiday break, I came home exhausted and they'd ask why I looked so tired. Then they'd turn to Jordan, who had dropped out sophomore year, and ask if he needed gas money for job interviews. I graduated summa cum laude with zero debt. They sent a Facebook emoji clap. Jordan got a congratulations son parade and a used Mustang because he's really turning things around. I moved for hours away for grad school, built a life, senior data analyst by 27, six-figure salary by 29, bought my own condo at 30. I never asked them for a single cent, not once, but they asked me constantly. $500 here, for Jordan's traffic tickets, $1,000 there because his girlfriend needed an abortion and he's not ready to be dead, $2,000 for a deposit on an apartment, after he got evicted for having parties that literally brought the ceiling down. Every time I said yes, because I was the responsible one, because I didn't want to be the reason my brother spiraled, because somewhere inside, I still hoped if I was good enough, quiet enough, helpful enough, they'd finally see me. They never did. Then came the Super Bowl, not just any Super Bowl. The year the tickets were impossible. Jordan won them in some radio contest, and apparently that was worth more than their only daughter getting her master's in statistics from an Ivy League school. I didn't answer the Venmo request. 3 days later, Dad left a voicemail, voice thick with that fake cheer they use when they want something. "Hey kiddo, just checking if you saw your mom's message. We're kind of in a bind. Love you." I saved the voicemail. Then, I started pulling records. Turns out when you're a senior data analyst for a company that processes payroll for half the Fortune 500, you get very good at finding patterns. I logged into the family shared bank account I'd been stupid enough to stay on for emergencies. Same account I'd been transferring money into since I was 22. Over the last 8 years I had deposited $187,430.42. Jordan had deposited $0.00. My parents had transferred out to Jordan, to themselves, 2 Cash App tags that were clearly his various girlfriends. $204,112.19. They weren't just asking for favors. They'd been draining me for almost a decade. I took screenshots. Every transfer, every Venmo, every Zelle with the little note, "Love you sis," from Jordan that actually came from my mother's phone. I made a spreadsheet, color-coded, time-stamped, beautiful. Then, I called the bank and removed myself from the shared account. Frozen, pending fraud review. Mom, freaked out first. Called me 17 times in 1 hour. Left voicemails that went from sweet to nasty in record time. How could you do this to your family? Your brother is stranded with no gas money. We raised you better than to be selfish. I didn't pick up. Instead, I filed a police report for identity theft and unauthorized transactions, because technically, once I turned 18, every transfer they made from that account, without my explicit permission each time was fraud. The detective assigned to the case was a woman about my mom's age. She read the file, looked at the spreadsheet, looked at me, and said, "Honey, this is the cleanest case I've seen all year." Jordan showed up at my condo 2 nights later, banging on the door at 11 p.m., smelling like cheap vodka. "Sis, what the fuck?" Mom's crying. "They're talking about selling the house. You're ruining everything." I opened the door just enough for the chain. "Jordan, you have 30 seconds to get off my property before I call security. And the detective who's very interested in your Cash App history." He laughed. Then he saw my face and stopped laughing. The next morning, my parents' bank accounts were frozen pending investigation. I posted nothing on social media. Didn't need to. Jordan did it for me. He made a public Facebook post from my mother's account because his was suspended for selling fake concert tickets, saying I was a heartless bitch who abandoned her family and that karma would get me. The comments were not what he expected. Old high school friends who remembered, cousins who'd watched the favoritism for years. Even his ex-girlfriend chimed in with screenshots of him bragging about his sister's ATM. Within 48 hours, the post had 400 comments, all of them dragging him, some of them tagging local news. A reporter called me. I gave a short, calm statement. I discovered nearly $200,000 had been taken from my accounts over 8 years without my full consent. Law enforcement is handling it. That clip ran on the 6 p.m. news the same day the police showed up at my parents' house with a search warrant. I wasn't there, but the neighbor's Ring camera caught it perfectly. Dad in his underwear answering the door, Mom screaming behind him, Jordan trying to run out the back and tripping over the dog. The video went viral on TikTok. Someone added the Curb Your Enthusiasm music. Charges were filed. Wire fraud, identity theft. The amounts were too large for them to just pay back. Jordan took a plea first, 18 months probation, full restitution, and a lifetime ban from holding any joint accounts with family members. Judges, exact words, my parents fought it, hired a lawyer with money they suddenly found. The trial was short. I testified for 14 minutes, didn't raise my voice once, just walked the jury through the spreadsheet, let the numbers speak. Guilty on all counts. Mom cried in court, looked right at me and whispered, "How could you do this to your own mother?" I met her eyes and said, quietly, "You didn't come to my graduation for a football game." The bailiff almost smiled. They got house arrest because of Dad's heart condition, ankle monitors. Had to sell the boat, the camper, Jordan's Mustang. The house is on the market. Jordan lives in a studio above a vape shop and delivers for DoorDash. I got my money back through restitution plus interest, bought myself a new car. Cash took my team at work to Aruba to celebrate the promotion. I got the same week the verdict came, in Director of Data Science, youngest in company history. Sometimes I still dream about those empty seats at graduation, but then, I wake up in my beautiful condo that no one can take from me, drink coffee on my balcony overlooking the city I earned, and the dream fades. I don't speak to any of them anymore. They try to reach out on holidays with new numbers. I block them. Every time. Peace isn't loud. It's just quiet. The kind of quiet I waited 31 years to hear. If you've ever been the forgotten one. The bank account with a pulse. The sibling who was only ever good for what you could give. Know that you're allowed to stop. You're allowed to protect yourself. You're allowed to walk away, and if you ever need proof that the universe keeps receipts, just remember, spreadsheets don't lie, and neither does karma when she finally gets an Excel formula. I'm drinking coffee in Seattle this morning, watching the ferries cross the water, feeling lighter than I have in decades. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from, and if you've ever had to cut the golden child cord, you're not alone. I see you, and I'm proud of you for choosing yourself. See you in the next one.